In this video, I'm going to show you how quickly and easily two people can install AtticFoil inside a truss-built attic using the 26-inch wide product. Now, our most popular products are either the 48-inch or the 26-inch product. The 48-inch product is great because you can run it horizontally in a typical stick-built attic. You can cover a lot of area fast by pulling a long piece. However, in a typical truss-built attic, it can be a little intimidating because of all the supports coming down. It looks like a giant spider web in the attic. So it's best to run the foil vertically up and down between the trusses. Our 26-inch product is perfect for the rafters that are typically 24 inches on center. They have enough material that you can completely cover each rafter on either side with plenty of material to staple to. Installing the 26-inch product inside a truss-built attic can go very quickly. In fact, the guys in this video installed about 2,000 feet of material in about 2 hours because they followed the basic rules of installing radiant barrier. That's cover as much area as possible and leave gaps at the top and the bottom for air to flow freely through the attic. Finally, you'll notice it doesn't have to be perfect or pretty to work effectively. It's okay if it's got some wrinkles or gaps or cracks. You'll notice that they just staple around the jack supports coming up and leave little flaps. You can spend 2 or 3 times as long and trim around every one. It will make it look a little prettier, but it doesn't change the effectiveness one bit. The trick to doing a fast and easy install using the 26-inch product on a truss-built attic is to pre-measure and pre-cut as many pieces as possible. What you want to do is measure the distance from the bottom of the slope down in the soffit area near the top plate of the wall all the way up to the ridge. Take this distance and subtract about 5 or 10 inches. This is the length of product you're going to need to cover each rafter bay and leave a few inch gap at the top and the bottom for proper ventilation. Cut a bunch in the garage, just roll them out and make a big stack, and then take that stack of foil up into the attic and get started. With 2 people working, installing AtticFoil should go pretty quick and easy. And the concept is really pretty simple. One person is working the top 2/3 of the attic, and you've got another person down in the lower third working the bottom section, kind of the harder to reach area. You want to start stapling at the top, leave a few inch gap near the ridge, staple down the rafters, and then hand the foil off to the person working in the bottom third. Now, if the person in the bottom pulls the foil tight, it makes it look a little cleaner, it takes out some of the wrinkles, and it makes it easier to line up on the rafters. When you get done with one section, just simply move to the next rafter and keep going until you're done. AtticFoil is also tear-proof. It is virtually impossible to tear. So if you staple it up and then you realize you need to move the foil a little bit, just pull the foil out, the staple will come with the foil, move the foil, and restaple. One thing to point out about truss-built attics is that they tend to be either medium or low-pitch attics, which means down in the lower part, down near the soffit area, it can be really tight or sometimes almost impossible to staple the foil all the way out to the top plate. So you got a couple different options on how to handle this. One, instead of starting a few inches from the top plate of the wall, you can go up a foot or 2. Remember, radiant barrier is a cumulative effect. The more you get, the better. However, a small gap at the bottom probably won't make a huge difference. The second option is to do the same method, but when you get down to the bottom, staple as far as you can, and you'll have a little flap, maybe a foot or 2 down at the bottom. Take that flap and just push it out over the top plate. Use a broom handle or a stick or some type of a poker to push it out and just lay on top of the insulation. It'll work fine. Really, all you're trying to do is get a piece of foil between that hot roof and the cool insulation. Truss-built attics typically also have gable ends, and gable ends are the flat ends of your attic. Usually you've got a couple of slopes, and then you've got the flat ends. Those are the gable ends. If the gable ends catch direct sun, you need to install AtticFoil on the inside of the attic on the back side of those gable ends. Basically, the gable end is just part of the roof in a vertical format. And it's really simple. You're going to run the foil either horizontally across the studs or up and down just like you did in the trusses. Leave a couple inch gap at the top and the bottom. That way air can flow between the foil and the gable wall. As far as attic ventilation, you want to install the foil with gaps at the top and the bottom. You want air to flow freely through the attic as though the attic foil really isn't even there. What's going to happen is that hot air is going to pool in the top of the attic, and then it's going to go out, either ridge vents, wind turbines, static vents, electric fans, gable vents, whatever type of exhaust vents you've got, you want to give it a path for that air to find its way out. If you do have any holes in the attic as far as like wind turbines or something like that, you want to cut a hole in the foil directly below any vent in the roof. You want the air just to flow freely through the attic, like I said, as though the foil's not even there. If you've got a gable vent on the end on a gable wall, run the foil up and do not cover the gable vent. That's about everything you need to know to install 26-inch wide attic foil inside your attic. Simply staple it up, leaving gaps at the top and the bottom so the air can flow freely through your attic. Once you staple up attic foil, your home will be instantly more comfortable and energy efficient. For complete information, please visit our website, AtticFoil.com. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the button below, or if you'd like to see some related videos, click on the videos to the side.